Wages.
I guess I'll speak for myself. I just like to have cost of living, which is around 3.5%, I think, which would come to about 50 cents an hour.
It's $14.54.
So you're asking for a raise?
Please.
Please. Think you've earned it.
I think by next year we will. If we get through the next project, yeah.
What are we doing on South Street right now?
Archaeological study.
That's what
Yes.
all that is.
Yeah. Well, that and everything, the engineer wanted, first of all, he wanted everything located so they could put it on an engineering map. So
Okay.
next year they don't have to have a one call done,
Sure.
and that's part of that. And then the archaeological guys came in, they wanted their own one call, so everything had to be done.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what.
Is the red and yellow, are they different, or you just run out of one
You've
color?
got telephone is the orange,
Okay, okay.
red is electric, yellow's gas, blue is water, and green is sewer,
Okay.
is how that's all.
Where's that?
But, well, you can really see it on South Avenue, but wherever we're doing a water line is marked out.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Gotta make a motion for that then?
Well, we want to do all of them once or individually. How we want to go.
So let's do them individually.
Okay. Motion for 50
What,
cents.
what'd you get last year, Ray? You
I
remember?
think it was right at 50 cents.
Right about 50 cents.
Yeah.
At that rate, when you started, you actually paid us to work here, huh?
I did,
Okay.
yeah.
Well, thanks.
I do have a comparison sheet of 12 other towns, and we're right in that neighborhood if you guys want to see it.
Somebody make a motion on raising, or how you feel?
Of the 104 hours of overtime for Ray, and we got a good chunk of that covered by some disaster money or FEMA money, didn't we? Or
No,
wasn't there?
that wasn't covered. We didn't get the snow part of the FEMA.
Okay, okay.
So the
I
overtime,
knew we talked about it, but we didn't get the snow part.
no. I mean, you guys had paid that, but no.
Sure.
We thought we might.
Mm-hmm.
And as far as that, I'm down at 42 hours, but I have to work to get the 2 hours on the weekend.
Mm-hmm.
And even if I didn't, then you'd be paying me for comp hours, because that would come out of there. So you're better off just leaving it the way it is.
No, I don't know. Just
You know, it sounds better if we only work 40, but I'd have to work 42 anyway.
yeah.
I'm just glad to have Tammy here to work the other two.
Mm-hmm.
It's nice to have one weekend or 2 weekends a month off.
Good. Any other discussion?
I don't think so. Anybody else good with it? A motion?
There you go. 1454 now?
Yep. 54. For Raymond.
Okay, then, second,
Yep.
Thank you.
show of hands.
You're gonna earn it.
Okay, how about Tammy then?
What's, your hours per
36 a week.
week now?
Mhm.
Plus then, is
It's
that, is that
34,
in
and then
34 plus the 2?
Mhm.
Okay.
Plus,
Okay.
So 36 hours
a week.
a week.
That's what it averages out to be. You take all the night meetings
Yep.
and things in there, and it comes out to be 36 hours a week.
What would you like, Tammy?
Then I'll leave that up to you guys.
I'll take.
You know, I should run a calculator.
Well, 3.5% is 45.5 cents an hour. How are we covering insurance now? I know that was, last year, that was something we discussed quite a bit.
Well, the insurance, we found an insurance that is gonna actually decrease by 4.28%. And it's $2,000 for the health savings account, because it's a $2,000 deductible policy. And then the insurance is, I think, with Ray and I combined, I don't have them broken out between Ray and I. Ray's a little bit more than me, just because it runs on age.
Yeah.
But it comes out to $1,317 a month. We currently are paying $14.25.
And that's 2 individual policies.
Right. No, that's two together.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
13 is for
Mhm.
your policy and
Mhm.
Ray's policy.
Right. They're both going up to 2,000 something. So I was pretty happy to find something that went a
I
little.
think all insurance is going up.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Ours do.
We're lucky if it goes down.
$45.07 an hour for Tammy.
Mhm.
45 cents an hour for Tammy.
That's what 3.5% goes to, that's what.
And it's only, I mean, you're looking at $800 more a year.
Which she is more than save us in
Yeah.
insurance.
So, a motion to give Tammy $13.45 an hour this year.
Second.
I'll second it.
Okay. Show of hands. And Doug Rice.
You know, he probably qualifies for the 3.5% too. If we're doing it for 2 other employees, I think he probably deserves it too. I mean, what he does is a real strong service for our community and the volunteer work and everything else. I think he deserves it.
So that,
Is the $30 a fire, that's per fire call?
per fire.
And inspection,
Yeah. That'd be $100 a month, so that put up
350.
Would you do that, or would you increase the amount he gets per fire? Which would make more sense.
Yeah. Although, you know, the actual work he does, you know, very, very little of it is actually fighting the fire.
Yeah.
You know, when you look at,
Is that fire, is it like a fire call, or is it like a?
it's
fire
call.
paperwork, the paperwork
Oh,
call.
yeah, well, and what she has for,
It's not just any type of call.
well, he,
Rescue.
yeah,
Same thing,
yeah, he's still got. Well, and then per meeting, you know, per, anytime the trucks are on, he's
They're gonna-
got, well, no, that's not the way it is. Anytime the trucks are on, he's got a considerable amount of paperwork to do.
So even like on a parade and the fire trucks get out, they have to just do paper?
No.
No?
Well, no. Any call.
Okay.
You know, whether it's an accident or
Yeah.
a rescue call or anything like
I
that.
think, right now, I think he'd rather go the one monthly up in.
I'm sorry?
I think he'd rather go up the monthly up instead.
Into the fire call?
Yeah. Because he gets IFRS on the monthly,
No,
huh?
he doesn't. because he's technically
That's
volunteer.
the reason we took it up to $100.
No, he doesn't get IFRS. Because he's volunteer, he doesn't get IFRS.
Oh, I don't.
No.
I guess what I was saying, as opposed to try to raise any amounts, you know, even decrease the amount, but per call, as opposed to per fire.
I think it is per every call.
It is.
It is, he turns in how many calls that you guys
No,
have received.
yeah,
And that's how I figure out how
Okay,
much he
so-
gets. It's per, because every time that you get called, he has to do the paperwork.
yeah.
And
that's
so
what
it's
I'm-
per every time he does that.
Okay, so,
Mhm.
so
Right.
it's per fire, okay.
Right,
Yeah,
I should
per call.
actually change that.
Okay.
Maybe it's
What's the
fire
average,
call
what is the
next
average,
time.
a month in calls? I mean, does it all, I mean,
Yeah,
it all depends, but
Some months 0, you know, some months 5, 6,
Yeah.
7 last year.
I don't remember what it was, total.
Yeah, 40.
46 or something like that last
48,
year.
yes.
I think it was high month, or high year.
What are your feelings
60s.
about it?
There's paperwork involved in it.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I mean, there's no two ways about that.
You know, I've
And
been,
the state's making more hoops you gotta jump through, I know that. I mean,
yes, I would say maybe give him a raise per call.
$100 a month.
And I know I said it last year, yeah, we can't pay him what the job's worth, so.
To raise the rate per call to, because of all the extra paperwork and the hours that it requires.
I'd agree with that.
I would too.
So how much? $1, $2, $4, $5?
How much time do you think he probably spends, give or take?
I know he's got paperwork to do, and it takes probably EMS wise, when you gotta write a run report out, you spend 15 minutes to 20 minutes just getting the BS out. So, I don't know.
What's up?
Well, based on 46 calls last year, you got paid $13.80 for that amount. If you raise it to $35, if you raise it to $5, it can be $16.10, so you're gonna give them a $360 raise in a year. If you go $33 and it's only really 260, 270 bucks a year call. That's, I guess, based on the average of what you said, 46 calls a year we did last year, this year.
Yeah, I want to look it up. I don't know if we've had that many this year.
Realistically, I mean, going out and like in blizzards and stuff like that,
Anytime.
Yeah.
380, I mean, it's well worth it. It's just, I remember driving home in one of those and it's tough. But going out in it, trying to find somebody.
I remember I was stuck in Swim Lake when these guys went out on that machine jet fire, I'm thinking, them poor guys.
No, no,
Couldn't
it's called
couldn't even
away.
get in Swim Lake.
I got lost.
Yeah, you couldn't
Nobody
even,
would wait for me.
The weather was nasty.
you couldn't see that.
So,
Well, it's gonna be all officer could have 45 calls, so to raise it $5,
Pretty
to compensate him for his time spent on the paperwork and everything else that goes with being in management. I think it was like $35 per call, raise it 5. And that's gonna vary per year, per fire, you know,
Now,
call.
For call, does the
For call.
city pay this, or is it divided amongst the?
Out of the general fund.
Okay.
And how much money did you say we get into the general fund?
It varies, depends on if we have tax, whatever our tax is, you know, October is a big one. So it varies, but you can look at your financial and you can see your year-to-date and your month-to-date and kind of see how much we have in and how much we're expecting in.
I would second the $35.
Who made the motion?
I did.
Oh, okay. Show of hands. Mark Berry, custodian.
Sometimes it's coming in a week or a month.
Comes in once a week on Tuesdays, and then if there's any special events downstairs, it comes in things like
So 4 times a month.
that.
City building, fire hall.
Same thing.
Is that it?
Not the library, but the city office downstairs and the fire station.
Did we get him a raise last year?
I don't think we got the last 2
I don't
years.
think we did last year.
The last 3 years even.
How many hours do you think he works?
I don't. I think it varies. Like on Tuesday, if there's nothing going on, it would just be a couple maybe. I don't know what he does at the fire station though.
Well, I know, down there, he's in, I think, every week, but, we have a call, on a Friday night, and, he'll come in and just wipe up the mud, the next day.
Make it even 200 a month.
How many years has he been doing it?
I don't like the market data.
Yeah, I don't
Oh,
know.
it doesn't matter.
No,
But he hasn't got a raise in quite a few years. I don't think.
And he's about to,
Maybe 200 a month.
I make a motion to make it $200 a month.
Second.
Yep.
Okay, Don Stukin.
oh, yeah, show hands.
Oh, excuse me, show hands. Don Stukin.
Does his hours vary, all depending on the help? Or does he usually have a set number of hours
It's
he works?
usually 16 hours, except for some.
Then it's more.
Yeah, when we're mowing, it could be 20 to 25,
How much longer does he have, Ray?
I don't know. But even if you hire another person, I doubt if you're gonna find anybody for less than that.
No, especially not somebody
Right.
who knows what to
So,
do.
anything would probably be appreciated.
Well, 3.5%, put them to 1017. I'll have to think of.
I know this isn't a percentage, you're just even it out at $10 an hour.
Which is about a 2%
2%.
raise-ish. Which, when you consider running equipment, driving a truck, and, well, even to operate machinery, Ray's getting this peanuts compared to, an operator. But
I think I'd go, I'd look 10.50. Which come out,
yeah,
huh?
I would say that'd be pretty fair.
Go to 10:15.
That motion in?
I'll make a motion for 10:15.
Ray makes him stand outside in the downpour, checking meters.
Second? Show of hands.